No
Right.
doubt.
Yeah.
Who's on the T? Who's on the T?
Outcast, man. And the Malcolm X and
Oh, it is
Martin Luther
Outkast.
King
Okay.
situation. Yeah.
All right, I was trying to make sure. I know that's the stink on your cover.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that.
That's,
We're gonna talk about duos today. So
that's what I wore for, dog. I'm pretty good at this.
talking about duos. I ain't got enough rap tees, so I'm gonna have to rerun. I'm rerunning NotRight.com.
Okay.
Shout to NotRight.com always and forever.
I mean, you never know. It might be a whole different 10 from the first time that never saw that shirt. So,
True. I just told him myself.
but yeah, like I said, man, you don't want to lead this combo. So let's go. What we talking about?
We're talking about duos today.
Oh,
We're talking about duos, but it's only right. The first thing we got to talk about is this fucking monster of an album that just came out, man. This Clipse album, obviously everybody's talking about it. The rollout has been crazy. I want to say the deluge of fucking Clipse talk that's happened this week. Everybody has talked to talk about it. Shout to me for bringing this shit up. The theme for today is that we talking about a lot of shit before people was talking about shit.
these are facts.
And I talked about this album when Ace Trumpets came out. Because I was saying this shit is gonna be a monster. And that was really before even the rollout started, I think, because
But
Ace Trumpets kind of started the rollout. So whatever.
but it was
Um,
also when you wasn't a big fan, though, right?
no, I
Okay.
loved Ace Trumpets. The whole thing that we talked about that day, and I'm gonna bring it up again today, is how I really wasn't. It's not that I don't like Clipse. Obviously, I like them. I just feel like they was a little overrated, and like ironically, I'm seeing that the same shit again today. I do think that they're a little bit overrated in that people kind of um, people treat them like the fucking messiahs whenever they make music, and like I don't think it's that. But I think they deserve a lot of fucking props for this record.
I think it's funny because you said overrated. I'm like, but they're the two that's doing the rating though. Like I feel like that's
That's
the
a big
that's
part of it.
I
They
think
do
that's
love
the energy.
themselves.
Like we feel so good about it because like they keep telling us like, yo, we deserve these props. So fucking we're like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. That's a part of it. But I think that people love to gas the shit out of them, and like people, it's kind of like the new thing, the new meme, like when they come out, the Coke memes and I'm ready for the Coke talk and all that stuff. I think this is like the new generation of people because obviously you and I listened to rap when all anybody ever did was talk about cocaine. And so, this thing that like destroyed our communities, you know what I'm saying? So it's like uh I don't give Kendrick props because he raps about the condition of black folks. I don't give Clipse props because they rap about cocaine, and I don't hate um, uh, Drake because he raps about his feelings and how he loves bitches and how they don't love him back. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like your subject matter is your subject matter. You know what I'm saying? And like people don't deserve props over the subject matter unless you touched on something that's like never been touched on and like that needed to get touched on and you did it in a way like, but if this is like your career and your perspective is your perspective ultimately, like Jadakiss only raps, there was a minute there where Jadakiss and Styles was only rapping about one thing. It's like, so the idea that some people get love for rapping about the same shit over and over again, and some people get flack for rapping about the same shit over and over again. But ultimately, your perspective is your perspective, and that, to me, that doesn't dictate um, why I like you so much. Unless people are constantly flipping different shit like that, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I'll give people props because I know that's a part of your identity is the shit you choose to talk about, and if you're always reinventing it, I think that's dope. But
And I
anyway,
think there's one reason why I do rock with Pusha or the relationship I have with Pusha. Like, because at one point, like I told you, it's funny listening to old episodes. I said this, like I get tired of coke rap. Like I just get tired of it.
yeah,
But Pusha is like so clever with the coke rap. I'm like, I guess I'll stick around for this. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
I am one of them dudes that tend to give too much props to people who rap about any and everything
Right,
on the record
right.
compared to people who tend to just stay in one lane and don't really show more.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Random shout out. For the longest, Shane, DJ send us to Shane. Benny Foxmore goes by.
Shout out to Shan, man. I haven't heard that name in forever, man. Wherever
Yeah,
he's
he
at.
go by Benny Foxmore now. He
Yeah.
probably Mexicans and everything. That's a whole nother 16. But yeah, he was trying to put me on to this dude called Homeboy Sandman
Yeah.
for
Yep.
years.
Yep.
Bro, I don't think this dude. I think I've heard about at least 12 of his projects. I don't think he's rapped about the same thing twice ever.
That's crazy.
Like
Yeah.
it's
See that I'll fuck with you on that.
yes. Like so, yeah. So I give a lot of props to people who could just like J. Cole. J. Cole's one of my favorite dudes because he talk about regular people stuff, but a lot of it.
That RJPayne shit you sent me, you know what I'm saying? What an incredible fucking story. And like, in order, the way that he flipped that Boys in the Hood story and related it to how that's something that happens to us every day, you know, he made it sound like that was something that happened to his homie, you know, and to narrate a story that we know and love so well, you know, like, you know, people absolutely like if you can and draw from a lot of different shit to do your thing, you know, I'll give that.
Yeah.
That's something like yeah, if you're constantly flipping different shit, like that's for sure that's something I can get behind. Because I as a writer, I understand how difficult that is, but also as a writer now that's like in my 40s, like I feel like people are missing out on opportunity to really tap into something different when you're writing. Because that was a part of why I stopped writing is I lost my voice and I didn't.
Oh, you had a little Andre 3000?
Huh?
You had a little Andre 3000?
No, RJPayne. Oh, have I heard it?
No. You had a little Andre 3000 where you felt like you couldn't find anything to write about. Let's go
I
and get into
did,
these.
but
Let's
I
go and
did
get
it.
into
But
this.
it was whack though. Like you was there the day that I told you I wasn't gonna rap anymore, and it was trash. Like when I look back on it, the reason why I did it, it was I just didn't accept the challenge. I didn't accept the challenge that ultimately has become now what is now going to I think be the dominant genre of hip hop, and my boys have been talking about it a lot. Is adult contemporary hip hop. You know, I felt like I was becoming an adult and I wasn't channeling who I was in my music, and like I just didn't accept the challenge. I kind of bought into the narrative that once you become old, nobody wants to fuck with you anymore. I didn't accept the challenge, and I also wasn't true to myself in continuing to write and just craft and go in a different direction. And had I done that, you know, I'd be in a different place today. And I still, you know, I picked up the pen recently and been, you know, but whatever it was, yeah, I got some shit I could share
Yeah,
with
and
you.
that's so crazy because Quiet as Kept, LSD became a thing because I wanted, I had so many like different groups, like it was Mike
Yeah.
Tech, it was We Be Out, all that shit. I wanted a 3 and book. Like I wanted that. I wanted me and you to do a project.
Well, guess what?
You know what the
Guess
people
what?
put up. I don't know where my pen is at. But yeah, I wanted that, but you kept bringing R, so I kept bringing Jay, and we just made the
Yeah.
quartet or whatever. But like I said, I definitely wanted to just do. So maybe we could pop out like a 5-piece or whatever.
It
But
could
yeah,
be done. I
let's
got
stop rambling.
plenty.
Let's go into the get into this clip show. Go ahead and talk to me about this Clipse project.
So the Clipse project, you said Kendra is Clipse.
No, clip.
Oh, yeah. So the theme that I feel you could hear Pharrell's stamp on this just as much as you could hear Push and Malice. Like the word that I want to use is curated, and I kept coming back to that. This was a master class in curating a project. He didn't just make beats, you know, like this shit was really crafted um, with so much care. You know what I'm saying? You could tell these dudes really locked in together. And so, first of all, Pharrell produced every beat on here. He was it says he was the primary mixing engineer. So that means that he basically controlled every sound.
Mm.
And I know me and you don't really make beats like that, but like the technicalities of making a beat and then you're not always the person that mixes it, right? And the engineers it. And the mixing person and the engineer, they have so much to do with how a beat sounds, how a record sounds. Because you'll be like, yo, that snare, it's too high. You got to bring down the frequency, and it's, you know, like all that shit that goes into how it actually sounds versus how you meant it to sound when you was tapping the fucking tapping the buttons on the ASR or whatever. Like he did all that shit. So he produced every beat, he mixed every beat, he executive produced it. So this shit is really his vision as much as it is theirs, and he did an incredible fucking job. The features were so well done. They were placed in all the right places. It's like a good feature is like you're so in the zone on a record, and then you hear another voice, and you're like, you know what I mean? And it's just
Kendrick was the
because
first
that,
feature, right?
huh?
Kendrick was the first feature. That's track 2, right?
Kendrick is the first feature on track 2.
So to
And
come out with
Kendrick,
that,
huh?
so to come out like that, like your first feature, be Kendrick.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And Kendrick's feature almost was to me the least impactful one, just because I knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so like the Tyler one. I didn't check the track list before I played it. The Tyler one, I didn't know was coming. I didn't know any of them was coming. And you hear them and you're like, you know what I'm saying? Tyler really bodied it. Nas, the way Nas comes out, bodies it.
My favorite was Stove God. Like I don't even have no verse. My favorite was Stove.
Stove, man, he's really making a career for himself, man. His feature, my favorite was the Ab Lava one, because I like to give myself props for shit that I always say.
When I heard his voice, I was like, yeah, he definitely gonna say something about that.
And he fucking bodied it. He cooked it. And who else is on there? I don't want to go to my notes because I'm gonna lose the fucking call. But yeah, it was Nas, it was
Oh yeah,
Stove.
John Legend was the first
John
feature.
Legend, the John
Yeah.
Legend feature was great. And I feel like Pharrell really went to a different place on these beats, and that makes sense because it's not, he's styling clothes for Louis Vuitton now. It's not like you hear a Pharrell beat like every other month.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he really went somewhere else on this, and that was really, really dope. The So Be It record is so hard, bro. And the So Be It record, the Mike Tyson blow to the face, I love that one. And Glorious Bastards with Ab Liver is crazy. And the one thing I was telling you last night, so we're gonna say it, is we're gonna give ourselves props, because the very first conversation that we had on this show, we talked about how Nas and his this third act of his career has changed hip hop. And Nas said it himself. Nas's line there, his first thing that he says is that he single handedly brought out rappers from different generations, and he literally spoke to it in his verse, and it was so incredible to hear it because obviously we've seen it. Clipse themselves, James said Malice said that he's a grandfather. Pusha is married with kids, and Pusha's married older than me, I believe. And a lot of my mans have been talking about this. We've been in the group chats like, yo, adult contemporary rap is now becoming the new shit. They was playing Doom in Panera Bread yesterday. I was in Panera Bread 2 days ago, and they was playing Doom.
Who
I
the
was like,
fuck
yo, are
got the
y'all
off
playing
score?
Doom? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was the instrumental, but it was still Doom. It was
Yeah.
playing Mad Lib. I was like, yo, this is wild. So
I mean, that's what hip hop needs, man. It's sad that like we treat rappers like they running backs. Nigga, like no,
right.
like come on, man. Like yeah, and I'm glad that we're doing that. Like, and I'm glad they're seeing that. Yes, and it's funny because you saying adult contemporary rap, and I'm thinking like, yeah, they talking about grown stuff. No, Pusha still talking about coke, but it's just the fact that it's the
Right.
rappers that we grew up with. Like, we still want to hear you, especially if you're good and you don't sound dated. That's my problem. Like when a rapper pops back out when he sounds like he's still where he was at.
Right.
Like, I can't deal with that. But like yeah, like I said, I had mixed emotions the first time this started. Like, oh, it's all right. It ain't all that. So when you text me, like, we get 20 minutes, I was like, do we have to? But I listened to it again. Like, my second time, I just threw it on shuffle.
Yeah.
So some more tracks kind of stood out to me. But yeah, like I said, the more and more I listen to it, it's funny how we come into the show, we rate our album like 24 hours after it comes out.
Yeah.
And it's still, and the fact that it's still good, and we understand it's gonna get better as it goes on is the dope part. I think a lot of times you can do that in 24 hours and understand that the album's trash. So
Yeah,
it's
and
different.
that's done too much. That's done because some shit comes out Thursday night and people want to talk about it by Friday morning. And so I don't like. So I specifically made sure I listened to it like 3, 4 times. And I'll be the first to say, like, I'm not like the biggest Clipse fan, and I think a lot of the things that I heard from them, bar for bar wise, like, kind of goes back to what I said, and we'll talk about duos in a minute. I don't think that they're like God's gift to bars. I really don't. I think that they're dope. They're dope
Is there a gap between them two?
between the two of them as far as age.
Skills.
Oh, skills.
And I say that because I never really liked Malice, but I also understood that I really couldn't tell who was who.
Their voices do sometimes. They did a back and forth on one of these records, and you almost can't tell that they're doing
Yeah,
the back and
yeah.
forth.
But when
Um,
Pusha was solo, I was like, yo, Pusha's nice. I got the chance to realize like Pusha's nice. So then this
yeah,
album, and I'm like, okay, I
I
guess
think
Malice is nice too.
I
Like,
think there's a little gap in between them. I agree with you that at first I didn't really love Malice. I felt like Malice was a little bit bland, you know, like. But now the new Malice is crazy. Like, I listened to the No Malice record just because I was curious to hear how he sounded. I was like, how does a Christian rap version sound of him? And he didn't sound much different, and it was kind of dope. I was like, this dude. I was like, this is actually kind of cool. If you take away his coke rap and now he's talking about something else, I was like, this shit is actually kind of cool.
I'm gonna check
And I
it
would
out.
say that he's closed the gap a little bit.
Okay.
And the feature that he had on it's on the last Pusha T album, I forget, it's Almost Dry or whatever that shit's called. That feature was crazy. Like, and I was like, oh shit, man, Malice is really coming. So I really, really I respect both of their pens.
Mm-hmm.
I I just don't think that I just don't think that these dudes are like God's gift. And they do a lot of shit where, like, they say things, they have these references that maybe they think they only get, or that are like a nod to people that live their lifestyle, or whatever. And Wale used to do that. Wale says these like obscure references, and then like, and kind of does like this when he says it, like, you get it, you know? And I'm like, nah, I don't get it, actually. And like, and here's the thing, bro. Like, a lot of people rap genius the lyrics and then be like, oh, he said this. I'm not gonna rap genius your shit, my guy. Like, that's an internet era thing. If I listen to your shit and I don't get it, I just don't get it. And that's not my job. It's not my job to get it. It's your job to make me get it.
You know,
You know
it's
what
funny.
I'm saying?
I definitely do agree with that because I agree with like the way you relayed that to me is the why I like you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in this era of Easter eggs, people will put out a YouTube video about a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It is interesting. I'll put it at that. Because sometimes you can see how a nigga reach. And it's like, I listen to some of my old shit. It's like, yo, you expecting somebody to get that metaphor, yo? Like, nigga, I barely get it now. Like, what are we talking about? Yo, like, yeah.
Right.
So I
It's a
definitely,
balance. It's a balance between saying things in a clever way, but also saying things in a way that people understand. And I think that was one of the dope things about. I think that's one of the dope things about Jay Z, is that, like, Jay Z's complexity is in plain sight. It's very accessible, and it needs to be both. You know what I'm saying? You can't be complex just for the sake of being complex. Speaking of complex, yo, I bought the fucking Clipse T-shirt like a month ago. Send me my shit, bro. Like, I know they said they wasn't sending it out till the album came out, but like, it would have been dope to have it like when the day the album came out. So stop fucking playing with me. Stop playing with me. You're saying my shit.
But yeah, this week's top five or fave five. I think we're gonna start calling these fave five instead of top five. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Fave five is duo in light of what's the name of the album?
yeah.
Let God
It's
sort them out.
Let God sort him out. Let
Yeah,
God
we're
sort
such
him
a
out.
violent culture. Anyway, yeah, you want to go first, or you want me to set it off, or what?
Yeah. So
Criteria. Yeah, go ahead and break it down. You got any excuses for me?
I don't have excuses, but I will tell you that my list, I made a list and it got over 10. And it was like, I didn't expect to have so many dope groups, because like, I like, when I think of groups, I only think of a few. And then I really just kind of like took my time, and I came up with so many. And so the criteria is like, do you have to be a group to be a duo? I said no. I took that away. I really came up with a lot of folks. All right, I don't want to
So hold
fuck
on.
up.
So in the same lane, you came up with a lot. I came up with a good amount, but I was like, but Artie's in the 5 though. So
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
got
yeah.
to 3, I really struggled with who I wanted to put at 4 and 5, even though I had like 6 of them to pick from. And
Yeah.
the other delineation is not rapper producer. Like
Right, right,
those
right.
duos don't count. So
Right.
that's
And
later.
we should do that in another show, is talk about rapper. Can you still hear me? Am I good? Am I still good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you back now. You back now. Yeah.
I wanted to pull up my list and make
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah, like we should do that. Rapper producers like Hit Boy and Nas or something, like, because Gangstar, even though I'm a fucking guru, like there's there's rapper producer combos that absolutely deserve shots. But this is just duos as far as MC.
Yep.
I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 15 of them, and
I got 11.
people, yeah, people were saying like that Clipse is a top 3, top 5 duo, and I made 15 of these just so I could really point out that they're really not top 5. And what?
I will say top off my list.
Yeah,
They're above. They're above most of them. But this is my fave.
right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I tell you, for my honorable mention, I'll tell you one group that I know Clipse is better than, but I don't like them better. And it goes with that they're not really a group. They just put out an album together.
Yeah, who?
Young Dolph and Key Glock. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yo, man, Young Dolph is a likable ass dude, man. My boys had to convince me to like Young Dolph because that was the end of my era of like, but I don't understand, the bars ain't barring. I don't really like it. Young Dolph is a likable ass motherfucker, man.
yes, man. Yes. Rest in peace. Yes, it is, man. Him and so you put me on the Key Glock. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a whole I could do a whole episode on Key Glock. But yeah, go ahead and start with your list, man.
All right. So it's gonna be in no particular order, and I have 15 of these, so I have to actually choose 5 right now. But I'm gonna say number 1 because I wrote them first is Raekwon and Ghostface. Raekwon and Ghostface are, to me, top anything duo, because first of all, Raekwon and Ghostface wasn't even a real duo. Their shit is just so fucking classic that they became a duo because of that. I think they knew they had synergy with each other,
That's
but when you talk about, or can it be also simple? Can it be also simple? Basically, was what basically made people be like, yo, that you must think they're a duo. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember that was on the first Wu-Tang project where there was 10 dudes competing for bar spots, and that joint was just such a standout. And so then when you talk about Only Built for Cuban Links, and then you talk about Iron Man, all the moments that they've had, Heaven and Hell, Criminology, even the shit from Wu Tang Forever, Older Guards and MGM, and Daytona 500 and Fish and Camé, and they've just had so many fucking moments as a duo. They've never made a duo record,
mm,
right? Like Get Ragu never came out. They were gonna make an album called Ragu, Ray and Ghost,
mm,
and it never came out. I mean, of course, you can count Only Built as a duo album, but it wasn't billed that way.
yeah.
So yeah, I think Ray and Ghost are, to me, top whatever. Like, I'm looking at my list, I don't think that anybody's better than them as a duo. Ray and Ghost.
Okay. My favorite, I'll go and get them out of the way because I did mention them last week when I was talking about runs. Helter Skelter.
Yep, they're on my
So,
list.
the
They're on
way
my
I
list.
played Nocturnal, like the way I played, rest in peace, my nigga Delmar, man, he stole that joint from me out the store when we was on the trip way out somewhere. That joint, that I played the hell out of that CD, dog. Like I
Yeah.
fucking Helter Skelter, Nocturnal, Like I said, they're Magna Force to back it up. And like you said, like I said, it's another situation where they're from a group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are a duo. They were actually a duo, but they're from a bigger group. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
Right.
said,
Fab Five.
the third one, you got Sterain one, and you got Original Gun Clappers. Like they're a part of that, but they're duo.
Right.
So like I said, help the Skelters out.
Those dudes, and the funny thing about them is back then they both had dreads, so they kind of looked like each other. They was like kind of a similar height. I thought they was like cousins or something.
Yeah.
And what you may not know because you was down here is they did a lot of New York back then. There was a lot of radio appearances, and yo, the way they used to freestyle together. Like you felt like they was like one brain, like the way that they used to feed off of each other. So they were incredible as a duo. They're on my list. All right, I can only do five. Um, so MalikB and BlackThought. MalikB and BlackThought are, and rest in peace, MalikB, man. They had such dope synergy together. Do you want more? I mean, he's the only MalikB is the only consistent rhyming partner that BlackThought has ever had, and MalikB showed up to work. Motherfucker had his lunch pail and his hard hat on, and he showed up to fucking work on some of BlackThought's most dense, most lyrically complex records. MalikB was right there on the first three Roots projects. And the way that he played off of him, MalikB was a little bit more street, a little bit more. His voice was so dope. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of records where he got Tariq. You know what I'm saying? And the record on Phrenology called Water, where BlackThought talks about MalikB's problems with drug addiction, ultimately what took his life, was real, also illuminating. So I got to put MalikB and BlackThought in one of my favorite duos because the Roots is one of my favorite groups of all time, and it goes. I think people forget because of this incredible career that this monster that BlackThought is. People forget, how important MalikB was at the beginning of the Roots, and how truly nasty he was. He has such a dope voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My next one, I don't know if they're the biggest. Well, okay, yeah, my next one, they are the big. MOP.
Damn, how they not on my I'm looking at a list of 15 people, and how I don't got them on my fucking list.
Nigga, you from me? Why? This is crazy. But
That's
yeah,
funny.
MOP, dog. Like the way I used to bump that goddamn First Family for Life. And that was before whatever album was a Warrior that Annie was on.
Yeah.
So I was one of
First
them
Family
niggas
for
that,
Life was the first album.
yeah, so nigga.
Is it?
No, they had something before that. They had some. I can't think of the name. They had something before that.
My bad.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that's the name of their first album, but that's not the
Yeah, the First Family for Life had four long blades on there. They had the video with Hove, so that's kind of how I got put on to him.
You talk about dope features.
Yeah.
The whole feature, man. It's
oh my God, yes.
When you hear his voice, it's like that
and
shit.
That was kind of like after Hop. So it's like, oh, Hove doing remixes, like he jumping on like that. That was
That record ran New York mixtapes. That shit was the first song on every mixtape in New York when that shit came out. That shit was top billing.
And he crushed the verse. And it's funny because is Teflon on that song too?
Yes.
And his verse is crazy.
His verse is nuts.
Crazy.
Yes. And Teflon's verse on Annie Up. Also, Busta Rhymes' remix verse gets a lot of credit. Teflon's verse on Annie Up is fuck hip hop. Rip pockets, snatch jewels. Annie Up, what? My whole family nuts. Running the stash house. Tie granny up.
Yeah, it is funny because you know how niggas talk about how NWA had you scared to go to goddamn
Cali, yeah. Oh no, we were scared. We was for real scared to go to Brooklyn, and I was just on the train. We was for real scared to go to Brownsville, for real. Like the hill, wherever the hill they're talking about, I'm not going. I'm not going.
Big facts, yeah. Yeah, that's my submission, man. MOP, man.
All right, so that's your second one. So if we're talking about favorites, God dang, I got so many. I'm gonna talk about the ones ultimately who I left off, because I think I am leaving off Outkast, even though I
That's what I
think
wanted
Outkast
to
is the greatest group of all time. I think Outkast is my favorite group of all time. I think
do.
Outkast is on a level with the Beatles, um, but I don't think that their duo is what made them great. I think it was like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'll get into that. But you can't leave off Fife and Q-Tip.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think Tribe Called Quest. It's funny because I was not so big of a Tribe fan, but I liked their shit a lot back then.
Hmm.
But I think that Fife and Q-Tip are one of the more important duos in hip hop. And really just the way Fife set everything off, the way Fife was the more lyrical and the way Tip was the more vibe, you know what I'm saying? The classic records that they have together, you gotta say, Check the Rhyme is really one of the most legendary duo songs of all time, really with a playback with a call out to routines,
Mhm.
and people don't know routines was real big before hip hop became mainstream. Routines was like whatever on a 1 and 2 and rhyme book, yeah, and then you come on next, and then oh, my name rhyme book, and like that was the way that shit sounded when it was
Run
the
DMC
Four Fresh.
type shit.
Yeah, that was the way shit sounded. And so they're like one that was one of the biggest and one of the only mainstream big records where like they did a routine, you know what I'm saying? And where they call back, you want point all the time. Like that shit was so live. They
Shit
get so
timeless too.
you could the sample was so crazy, the video was so crazy, and just the way that their synergy was always so fly, and their voices together, electric relaxation, you know what I'm saying? Like they just got so many moments as a duo, even though I feel I think like I would have put Jada and Styles above them as like a favorite for me. I don't think that you can put Jada and Styles ahead of Fife and Q-Tip. So my number 3 is Fife and Q-Tip.
Okay, okay. My number three is Little Brother.
I was wondering if you was gonna say that.
Definitely.
I do not like Big Pooh.
Bro, I am so much of a fan of Fonte that
Yo,
he makes up for the gap.
untouchable.
There is a gap between, and I think that's why I asked you that earlier, because sometimes there is a gap between one rapper and another rapper, you know what I mean? But I feel like even with that skill gap, I don't feel like Pooh messes up songs.
He doesn't, and they're dope together.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
It's just the fact that you're realizing this nigga Fonte nice. So it's not really about Pooh. It's just the fact that Fonte is so fucking nice and
He's
great.
just so
Dog.
fucking nice.
Yo, the fact that he a rhyme, I'm like, oh yeah, he was rhyming with the words. Like I love how he'll come back. Like here, how he'll come back like 3 bars later to that rhyming pattern that he had up here. Like I
Right.
love that dog. But yeah, like I said, little brother, Get Back, the whole Chitlin Circle, all the mixtapes, because I was
Mm,
still Richard bumping on the mixtape. So when I came up here, that's when they made the album and trying to go mainstream.
mm,
Had the song with Wayne and all that. And when
mm,
they came back out with the project, I think they're going on like a last tour I want to try to catch. They're gonna be in DC in August.
mm,
Try to catch that. But yes,
mm.
Little Brother, man. And yes, it's mostly because of Fonte, but I don't care.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you, bro. And their records are so dope, and they really do play off of each other very well. I left them off my list just because I don't really fuck with Pooh, but like I'm not mad at you for saying it at all. Um, so okay,
You're struggling. This is hilarious.
yo, because I bring them up every week, and I feel like I'm just gonna bring them up every week. Is Nas and Az?
I was like, when you say every week, I'm like, you didn't see Nas?
Yeah, Nas and Az as a duo, like Phone Tap is really one of the illest duo records of all time. Life's a Bitch, you know what I'm saying? How You Living, Fly as Gangsters.
Mm,
They just got so much shit. Um, a lot of synergy is voices, right? So
mm,
MOP's voices and the way their voices sound together is so crazy. I wanted to say with MOP really changed the ad libs game. The people give Jeezy a lot of props for the ad libs, but MOP's ad libs, you can't replicate MOP's ad libs. It's only them that can do that shit, right? Like you could, like West Side Gun kind of like is like the grandson of MOP ad libs, right? But Nas and AZ's voices were so dope, but their flows are like the equivalent of like Jada and Styles' voices go dope together. Nas and AZ's flows sound so seamless together. The way they do that. I think the Firm album is underrated like a motherfucker. You know, I don't know what people expected from the Firm album. I bumped the shit out of that album. I loved it. Phone Taps.
Desperado.
Huh?
Shout out to Desperado.
Shout out to Desperados, absolutely. And I'm Leaving, you know, which built Nori's career. Nori will tell you right now that he wouldn't have had a solo record if it wasn't for I'm Leaving. His solo career started from I'm Leaving. But Nas and AZ as a duo, man, like, and they continue. The dope shit about them is you never know when you was getting a new one. It's not like they was giving you. It's not like they was a group. You know, it's just like you got one when you got one, man. And when you got one, and how you live in was such a New York classic mixtape. Another one that was on everybody's mixtape. And even the sample is fucking dope, man. The sample, I was playing the sample last night. I think his name is Glenn something, I forget. Just show me how you like that. It just made me love that shit all over again. So yeah, Nas and AZ is number 4, but again, no order. Number 1 in my heart. I love them two together.
For sure. I don't know if I want. I'll say them for last. This is a cheat code too, because I'll probably mention him next week also. 38 and Benny.
Yeah. Okay.
Them Stab and Shot projects, like I love them. So yeah, 38 and Benny, like it's funny how Benny put me on the 38. And I'm like, yeah, I can chill on.
He really did. He put me on the 38.
Yeah, and I'm good on Benny. I rock with 38 more. But like I said, if a Stab and Shot 4 comes out, I'm there for it. Like I'm
right. Their shit is dope. And we said it before, man, but like 38 Special's beats are really different. Like he's incredibly talented, man. Like for him to be that nice, like he's probably up there with like nicest producer rappers. And I know that that's hard to say because maybe people feel like he doesn't have the resume of beats. I would argue that he kind of does, to be honest. Like maybe, you know, because this is a different era and he's independent and maybe he doesn't have like the mainstream beats or whatever, but his resume of beats is you know, he's a iller producer rapper than Hit Boy is. You know what I'm saying? And Hit Boy has more commercial acclaim, but Hit Boy can't touch 38 on the mic. He can't even come in the room. Like, you stay out there, motherfucker. I'm over here. You stay outside. Like, you come in when I tell you. You know what I mean? Like 38 is a rapper who actually makes some of the illest beats. Like, he's really nuts. But yeah, all right. So that was your 4th?
Yep.
So all right. So my last one, I really want to. I've been mentioning them a lot. I really want to say Jada and Styles, right? I'm gonna leave them off.
Okay.
And it's probably blasphemous because Jada and Styles is more my favorite. They should be number 5 on my list, but I'm gonna say RunDMC.
Wow. Okay.
RunDMC is the most important hip hop duo of all time. RunDMC invented being a hip hop duo. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of these duos that we talk about would have had any fucking blueprint to go off of if it wasn't for Joey and Daryl. You know what I'm saying? And Joey and Daryl also did, my bad calling them Joey and Daryl. Yeah. If it wasn't for Joey and Daryl did routines also. Like, they were the first. And so the Peter Pecker, like that shit they did, and we were kids. If Nas was sitting right here, Nas would have said Run DMC first on his list. these Run DMC showed people how to dress together, how to, and first of all, shout out to Jam Master Jay, because Jam Master Jay was actually the mastermind behind their swag. And he, because Jam Master Jay was actually the older guard of the three of them. So he was kind of the thought leader of the whole shit. So let's not leave out Jay. But how to dress together, how to rhyme together, how to swag together, how to perform. You know what I'm saying? Like, get Run in here right now and give him a fucking microphone.
Right. Yeah.
Run will rip this motherfucker down. 60-something-year-old Run will kill this shit. Like, whatever you got. So I think Run DMC is the blueprint. I think Run DMC is the reason we're even talking about duos right now. And you can't talk about duos without them. And so, Clipse, I think, said something when they were promoting the casket drop, and me and my man got into an argument about it because they were like, yo, we think that we're the illest duo of all time. And the first thing I said was Run DMC. I was like, how the fuck are you going to say you better than Run DMC? Like, you can't. There's just certain shit you can't do. You know what I'm saying? And Run DMC just can't get left off of any list. So I got Run DMC.
Respect. Yeah. My last one is Stepbrothers.
Yo, man, you put me onto them. Them two are serious. I was not ready. I was not ready for how nice they are. I was like, wait a minute. These boys I thought this was just some South shit, and they are, but like, damn, I was not ready.
Yeah, it is. I definitely fuck with Don Trip heavy, but when them two link and the project comes out, it reminds you, like, yeah, Starlito is nice. Like,
they're both.
It go with what you say as far as the meshing and the flow and the voices. Like, they have all that, man.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like, yo, they found another dude that raps like them, but they don't sound alike.
Right.
I mean, it's not like with Malice and Pusha. It was like, is that him? Is that him? No, they sound completely different, but both of them are like, they feel like, yo, I could be doing something else right now. Like, they both sound like they're like, I could be doing something else right now, but I got y'all.
They're nice. Yeah. I was like very impressed.
Yeah.
The record that you put me onto, their most recent one, I bumped that shit for a few days. I was like, nah, these cats are nice. So for sure, I ain't taking nothing away. So why was I struggling with this? You could see me struggling.
Yeah. I mean, we got a couple more minutes. I'm gonna run down the other ones that could have made it. So I do understand your struggle. And
I'm gonna nod with you. I'm gonna let you know when you got one that's on my list, so we don't take up too much time. Go ahead.
Red Meth.
Not on my list.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Crazy that they're not on my list. They deserve to be there.
Bad Meets Evil.
On my list. Dope ass album. Dope ass album.
I know somebody that's not on your list. Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels, not on my list because I don't fuck with Killer Mike.
Now these two duos, I didn't put them on there because they only had one project, but they also go in my category of that was enough. That's Camp Lo and Dead Prayers.
Yeah, Camp Lo. Yep, absolutely. I got no notes for either of them. Super dope. But neither of them are on my list. So Outkast, I already said Outkast.
That's why I wore the shirt, because I know I'm not gonna say their name.
Yeah. 8Ball and MJG, legendary duo that doesn't get UGK. Neither one of us mentioned UGK. And UGK is it's like almost like you can't.
It took me getting older to start liking PimpC. Like,
yes,
it was back then when I ain't like, man, if you can't rhyme or if you ain't saying nothing nice, I ain't really got time for it. And then I started the more down south people. They're like, yo, I ain't got time to play all these games. Like, you hear what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
like, that's the MO I get. So PimpC definitely is somebody I came back like, okay, yeah, he was giving me game.
Yeah, Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep. You can't like the infamous the run of infamous Hell on Earth and Murder Music. That run, you can argue that nobody on this list has had a run like that. Those three.
I mean, and with the commercial success also. God, I say I agree that Hell Discuss the first three albums are just as good, but it's like everybody don't know about those. Everybody knew about Mobb Deep run. So
I don't think anybody would. Yes, I agree, but I don't think anybody would talk about Nocturnal the way they talk about Infamous, right?
Respect.
And maybe next week when we talk about producer rapper combos, that's really where we should talk about Mobb Deep, right? Because the synergy of Have was not that he's like his little man, but when they on records, he sounds like the homie instead of like peers, right? And maybe that's why they're not on. But Mobb Deep, if you're gonna talk about duos, Mobb Deep deserves to be on any list. I got Dog Pound as dope, but like I don't know how much of a mark they left. 3 6 Mafia, Juicy and Paul.
Yo,
Juicy and Paul.
me and my homeboy Zach was just talking about this Logic and Juicy J project.
Yeah.
You heard that yet?
I haven't. You said that you heard it.
That's a project. You know, I get a lot of flack for my affinity for white rappers for some odd reason. My nigga always get on me about that.
Did you know that Logic was interracial? Did you know that he's
I mean, like I told my boy Zach, like,
that's a joke because he fucking tells
you that every single project, like every project is a skit on there, letting you know, oh, I'm black, I'm mixed, this, that, and the third. Like, oh,
bro, enough. We got it. Yes.
We care less. Like
we got it.
Like,
we still don't.
You're nice. Leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you say nigga, it throws me off because I know you're black, but the way you said, so we shouldn't have had a conversation. But,
you sound like you're trying to convince me that you're black.
Yes.
like I'm good. We got it. Yeah, man.
So
Nah, I think that's all the ones that I have, and I'm sure I'm gonna. Yo, man, do you know how embarrassed I was when I realized we talked about storytelling MCs and we didn't talk about Big and Story to Tell? And like, so I'm sure that the minute I hang up, I'm gonna remember a duo here. Oh, let me just make sure that I go back to the Clipse album. The one thing that I forgot to mention on the Clipse album that I fucking love is the DJ Clue cameos.
Yo, when that came out of nowhere, like, yo,
love the DJ Clue cameos, man. Like, and it's easy to say that they bite in how Tyler did it because how Tyler did it with DJ Drama.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Like, they just sprinkled DJ Clue in there. They didn't like. It's not like Clue hosted the album. Yeah. They just sprinkled DJ Clue in there.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to how dope the curation of this record came about. The beat selections, the feature selections, the Clue cameos in the spots that they sprinkled that in. It was the hash on top of the tree on top that goes in the blunt. You know what I'm saying? And just the whole shit was just, again, shout to that. But yeah, it's we talking about duos, man. We talking about rap. You know what I mean? I think we kind of covered it on this one, man. And again, the minute I hang up, I'm gonna remember somebody. But
I mean, that's music for you, man. There's that many artists out there. And I think it's funny because I forgot what we talked about, but I think that's something we did talk about, the fact that, like, I can say the shelf life, but the fact that you don't really have time to sit with an album because next week somebody's dropping something.
Right.
Yeah, and it's funny, it's like, there's a such thing as too much. And I'm realizing that now because it's funny because I could throw on like a song from 30 years ago can come on and I can go word for word.
Right.
But a new song that I love and bump all the time, I don't.
Right. I be thinking to myself, like, damn, you used to listen to the shit out of this shit because I could say every word. Like, you know what I mean?
Easily.
But it's on us. It's on us to sit with a project, you know, and I do that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just go back, I'll just run up something that might have came out a few months ago and I give it a listen and all of that. It's crazy how, like, people don't do rollouts anymore, right? And so what they do is they do that shit after the fact. They're dropping videos months after the record came out, whereas when we was younger, the videos came out months before the shit came out.
Yeah.
I know, people talking a lot about this, the Clipse rollout and how dope it was. And it was well thought out. I was kind of tired of it at the end. You know, they was on the Joe Budden show. They was on the Breakfast Club. At the end, I was like,
"Oh, TinyDesk." My bad. Did you see TinyDesk?
I didn't. Again, I was just sort of. I don't think everybody needs to do a TinyDesk. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, the Lock's TinyDesk. I was like, fellas. Like, we don't need this. Like I would like to see the Clipse do. What's the porch joint? Who's?
Yeah, that's true.
I need Clipse to do that because those cats are from DMV. That would be dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, not everybody needs. Wu-Tang did TinyDesk. I'm like, fellas, we don't. I'm okay. TinyDesk is dope for like R&B singers, and like I don't need a whole lot of rappers on TinyDesk. I'm okay. I'll check it out.
Whoa. So did you not see Scarface?
Okay, if you're gonna talk about a rapper doing a Tiny Desk, Scarface is the one. Scarface's voice over that, I was just quiet watching that show. I was just like, I was just like, this is a moment. like that shit's crazy. And you know, like the Roots could do a Tiny Desk, but every show that the Roots do is a Tiny Desk. You know that.
Oh, we're gonna have a top 5 shows we've been to. That could be fun.
Top 5 like
Live
performance
shows. Like,
live shows. Oh yeah. And we need
oh
to
my
get
gosh. I know
what?
who I forgot to put on there.
Who?
Checkbook.
Of course. Shout to, yo, why is Lil Dude still the funniest fucking nickname for anybody in the history of life?
Because the
Like,
funny thing about it is like, it's funny that that's J name now, but that was like our name though. Like when he saw me, like whoever said it first, like he'd be like, "What's up, little dude?" Like, God damn it. Like we went back and forth with that, but I guess the more that we said it around people and me being the taller one.
yeah, because he's shorter. Yeah, that's why it's funny.